Hello, good morning. I'm recording this video because I will not be there at school on Monday, April 12th. And then we have this review. The quiz today is a review in preparation for the test on Tuesday, and I would like to help you with some of the questions. First, the bell work. Answer the question. Galileo dropped at the same time two balls with different weight from the top of the Tower of Pisa. If both balls hit the ground after 3.5 seconds, what is the height of the tower? You need to use this formula here, d equals 16t squared, to find the answer. Let's go to the whiteboard to work this out. And d equals 16 times t squared. We know that t equals 3.5 seconds, right? So we just plug in the number into the formula. d equals 16 times 3.5 squared. And if you type this in your calculator, you're gonna find the answer, 196 feet. This is the answer for the bell work, 196 feet. You just need to type the number. Don't need to write down feet because it's already there on forms. Okay. Now let's have a look at the quiz. This is a review for the test. Most of the questions, all the questions actually, are very similar to the ones that you're gonna find on the test on Tuesday. Okay, you will find several questions and different kinds of questions. The first kind is solve the equations by using the square root property. And you have here four questions. Let's solve at least one of these. So you apply square root on both sides, but remember on the other side is the square root, positive or negative square root, like this. So yes, now we can simplify this, right? And have 3y plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 25 is 5. You can move this positive 1 to the other side and becomes a negative 1. And then we have 3y equals positive or negative 5 minus 1. We will have two different answers, two different solutions, right? One is 3y equals positive 5 minus 1, 4. That means y equals 4 over 3. And the other one is 3y equals negative 5 minus 1, negative 6. And y equals negative 6 squared by 3. Let me move this, negative 2. When you answer this kind of questions, you will have two solutions, negative 2 and 4 over 3. So write down like this, using comma to separate the solutions. And don't need to use the brackets or parentheses. On this case, only the numbers separated by commas. And doesn't matter, you can write 4 over 3 comma negative 2. The order in this situation, in this case, doesn't matter. Okay. We have two solutions. For I will, at the end, I'm gonna give the answer for all the other questions, don't worry. Now the next kind of questions is this: find the value of n so that the expression is a perfect square trinomial. This is completing the square. You have to complete the square, and you remember to complete the square. Let's check this one. You check b. What's the value of b? You have to find first value of b, and this number here is what? 2b, right? So b equals 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And n equals b squared, so I have to find b squared. B squared is 8 squared, H squared is 64. Therefore, n equals 64. So the answer here is going to be just a number, in this case 64. Now, the other kind of questions you're going to find is this. And I think these are the kind of questions you're going to have more. Solve using any method, because it's solving quadratic equations. You have several quadratic equations that you have to solve. You can use, remember, you have three methods. The completing the square method, the other one is factoring out, and the other one is the quadratic formula that you remember you can apply to any kind of quadratic equation. I suggest you stick with the quadratic formula, unless you are very good in any of the other methods, but I suggest you stick with the quadratic formula. Let's solve the first one. The first thing you have to do is identify A, B, and C. So A is 1, right? Let me just change only the thing. A is 1. A. B is -4. C is 3, right? Okay. Now we will apply the formula. Remember the formula? And the variable here is y equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is the formula. You don't need to memorize. You can check. You can have a formula sheet by your side. And now we plug in the numbers. -b, -4, +4, plus or minus the square root. -4 squared. Let me write down the whole thing here. -4 squared minus 4 times 1 times c times a times c over 2 times 1. And we will have y equals 4 plus or minus the square root. -4 squared 16 minus -4 times 1, -4 times 3, -12 over 2. And then we're going to have two solutions, two possible solutions. One is y equals 4 plus, this is square root of 16 minus 12, is square root of 4 is 2, right? Over 2. And the other one, the other solution, y equals 4 minus, again, square root 16 minus 2, 4, the square root of 4 is 2 over 2. This is 3, 4 plus 2 6, divided by 2 is 3, 4 minus 2, 2 divided by 2, 1. You're going to write the answers. Again, you have two solutions, so you're going to have two answers, 1, 3. You're going to write like this, separated by comma. Remember, don't use spaces, don't use any crazy characters, only number, comma, number. So 1, 3 or 3, 1, doesn't matter. And since this is the kind of question that we have more, let me show another one. Let me show another example. And let's work with this, because not what that's okay. Oh, this is a K. K is a good one because it's in the wrong order. See, we have 12 plus 4x minus x. Remember, when you find A, B, and C, you need to have the quadratic equation in the right order of terms. The higher exponent at the beginning, then the second higher exponent, then the constant at the end. So the right order is this: -x squared, and so just a little bit more, plus 4x minus 12 equals 0. Now is right. Now we can find A. A is -1, B is 4, and C is positive 12. This is positive, not negative, sorry. Positive 12. Here positive. Okay. Now apply the formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And this is equals, plug in the numbers. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root b squared 16 minus 4 times negative 1, negative is negative, positive 4 times 12, 48, right? 16 plus 48 over 2 times negative 1. And then we will have x equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of 16 plus 48, square root of 64 over negative 2. We will have two solutions. One is x equals negative 4 plus square root of 64 is 8 over negative 2, or x equals negative 4 minus 8 over negative 2. The answers will be x equals, just make sure you get the right answer, give it the right answer for negative 2 and 6. Yes. Okay, only the numbers. When you type on Microsoft Forms, you're going to type only the numbers. Alright, now moving to the other kind of question you're going to find is this kind of question here. Find the coordinates of the vertex of each parabola. On the four initial questions, you will identify that the function is in the vertex form. So it's going to be easy to identify the coordinates of the vertex. Check it out. Remember, this is h, this is k. So h equals 4, k equals 5 over 3. And this color is not very good to look to. The vertex is 4 and 5 over 3. See, very simple to identify, because if the function is on the vertex form, you can look at the function and you can see the coordinates of the vertex. Now the next four questions from V to Y is a little bit different because it's not on vertex form. The function is on standard form. So that means we need to calculate the vertex using the vertex formula, which is x of the vertex equals negative b over 2a. And we need to identify a, b, and c. A is negative 2, b is positive 4, and c is negative 17. Actually, just need b and a. Negative 4 over 2 times negative 2. And this is negative positive, 4 over 4. And then we have x of the vertex equals to 1. To find y of the vertex, we just plug in 1, we just found here, into the function f of x equals 1. See? So negative 2 times 1 squared plus 4 times, instead of x, 1 minus 17. And the answer y of the vertex equals, in this case, negative 15. Okay, let's see if yes, this is right. Now we will write vertex is, and check the answer. When we are talking about vertex. Vertex is a point in the graph, and the numbers here are the coordinates. X equals 1, y equals -17. The order is important because the first is always x, the second is always y, and it's also important to represent using the parentheses, because this parenthesis is an indication that we are talking here, we have ordered pair. So you need to write down the parentheses, okay? And this answer here, we need the parentheses. Different from the first kind of question, remember? The first kind of question, you don't need to write the parentheses because you have two different solutions. Each number is a different solution, and now each number is a coordinate of the vertex. Okay, now let's work on the last question. This is an application of quadratic equations and the formula of vertex. A rocket is launched from the ground. The height of the rocket can be determined by its horizontal distance from the launch pad x by the formula. H of x equals -x squared over 256 plus x. And the question is, what is this is an E, the maximum height of the rocket? What is the maximum height the rocket will reach? Okay, the maximum height will be this point right here, okay? And this is a parabola. You remember, this is a sad parabola. It's a sad parabola, or U upside down. And the vertex of this parabola is going to be the maximum. We need to find the vertex, and the maximum value of the function is the y coordinate of the vertex. So let's work on it now. X of the vertex equals -b, a little bit more, -b over 2a, and let's identify here on the function. B is +1 and a is -1 over 256. Can you see? So -b is -1 over 2 times, and a is -1 over 256. When you have a fraction here on the denominator, what you can do, well, first let's check the sign. We have negative and negative, right? It's going to be a positive. Now we have 1 over 2, and when we have a fraction on the denominator, we can do this operation by inverting the fraction and multiplying. Remember this? This is one of the properties of fractions, of dividing fractions. 256 over 1. Multiply 1 times 256, 256. 2 times 1, 2. This is equals to 128, right? This is x of the vertex. Now, to find the maximum value of the function, we have to plug in this x into the function. Y of the vertex equals h of x equals 128. So negative 128 squared over 256 plus x is 128. Okay, let's get the calculator and check this answer. 128 squared divided by 256 equals, and this is all negative, plus 128, 64. y of the vertex equals 64 feet. That means the maximum height, this value here, this distance here, is y of the vertex, which is 64 feet. The answer to this question will be 64 feet. You don't need to write down feet, you just need to write down on forms the number 64. Okay, that's it. I will now I'm gonna complete the whole quiz with the answers, and I will show you the right answer so you can check your work. Okay, so give me 1 minute. Good luck on this review. If you have questions, don't worry, because tomorrow I will be tomorrow on Tuesday. I'm telling tomorrow on Tuesday I will be available, and you can ask me questions about this quiz. I cannot answer questions about the tests, but I can help you out with this quiz on Tuesday.